All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Appreciate you guys being with us. It's 9 a.m., hour number 3 underway. A lot more ball to get to. A couple of college football notes that we need to discuss quickly. Jeff Brom announced yesterday, GMAC, he's good. He's staying. It's actually 2 days ago. But made it public that he is not going to be in the mix for any other jobs this offseason. So Louisville will retain their head coach, and obviously a good one that they're going to be able to keep.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, one of the best head coaches in America. I think he was definitely listening. I mean, there's no doubt he was listening. But I don't think any of the jobs that were presented, like he was kind of a fallback option in a bunch of spots. And I think that he would have been interested in the event in which Auburn came to him. He would have been interested in the event in which Ole Miss came to him. It just didn't materialize. Might have been interested in Florida, of course, but it never got to him. So I think he was kind of waiting and seeing if anything would get to him, and it never did. So I think it's great that they were able to lock him down. He's obviously very happy at Louisville and has a good thing going.
All right. Also, Sanford introduces their new head football coach, John Gross, familiar to people in this state. The 37th head football coach for the Sanford Bulldogs had this to say about his core values in his opening press conference.
One of my core values is DNA. What is your DNA? And do nothing average. I'm going to challenge these guys to do nothing average. God tells us in His Word, Revelations 3:15-16. You cannot be lukewarm. God wants to spit you out. He tells you, if you're lukewarm for Him, He wants to spit you out. Well, we're going to be that way in our faith, okay? We're going to be that way in the way we work and the way we carry on and we handle our business. Do nothing average. We don't want to be lukewarm. We want to be highly motivated. We don't have integrity. We will strive for excellence, and we're going to be disciplined.
So 72-26 at Jacksonville State from 2014 to 2021, 6 Ohio Valley Conference titles, including an OVC record 5 straight championships from 14 to 18. So GMAC, a guy that's had a lot of success as a head coach in this state, knows the geography, knows the territory extremely well. Have to think pretty good hire for Martin Newton and the Sanford Bulldogs.
What year did you and I go over there and hang with him?
That was, I want to say 16 maybe.
Oh my gosh, was it that long ago?
Yeah.
No way it was that long ago.
I think it was.
Oh my gosh. Did we do the game? Did they play in the game that we went and saw them?
Yeah, first game. It was at FCS opener.
Against North Carolina A&T?
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, I like Coach Cross. I always have. And hope he gets it going. I think it's great to have him in the area. And it's just sad to see Sanford go from the penthouse to the outhouse as quickly as they did, man. It was wild to see. It was just shocking, frankly, because they had it going there for a bit, and it just fell flat. I'm not sure what to attribute that to. So it's a bummer, but hopefully Gross can get it going again. Yeah,
I think he'll have a good chance to get it going. I feel pretty good about him, what he's going to be able to accomplish. Obviously, he's got success in this state, so he knows what it's about, knows how to get it going, knows how to get it done. And I'm excited to see what he can do. Going to be fun. See if he can get things rolling over there at Sanford. Cal Poly has named Tim Skipper their head coach. He was the UCLA interim head coach. That's the last time we talked about him. And Brent Key gets an extension, 5 years. He'll go through 2030. He's 27-19 as the head coach there at Georgia Tech, 9-3 this year. A guy that you can understand, Greg, that they would want to have locked up for the long term.
Surprised by the amount of money.
How so?
Just 6.5. I just thought maybe, knowing the market and knowing where world's going, I just thought it'd be more.
Yeah. ACC though, man.
I get it. I just thought it'd be more. I just wondered, did he have any real leverage? You could have, quote, perceived leverage, right? But did he have any real leverage? Was he really a candidate at some of these places? I really don't know.
Oh, he was. I know he was a real candidate at 2 of them, for sure.
I understand, but do you think that it ever got to the point in which an offer was extended his direction?
Fair.
I don't know. I'm asking the question.
No,
I think it's
I
great.
would lean no to an exact offer, but definitely went down the road a pretty good bit. So
well, I'm happy for him, and honestly, he's in a really good spot. There's some places where I'd be like, yeah, you know what? You might need to get out of there. You know what I mean? Because is it sustainable? Is it all this other stuff? Just lost his OC. There are questions about that, right? Is it sustainable at Georgia Tech? Frankly, you take Haynes King off that team. What's that team's record this year? I don't know. I have no idea. So I'm not sure how sustainable it is, but I think he's at a place that he understands, and I think the place understands him, and they're going to have the right mentality in the league that he's in to have success. So I'm happy for him, and I'm glad that he decided to stick around.
Yeah, 100%. Auburn defensive lineman Antonio Coleman's going to hit the portal. So that's you're going to hear a lot of that here in the next few days from a lot of teams. It's just kind of what it's going to be right now. I'm interested to get your thoughts on this one, Matt. Love the offense. This job of the basketball team and money, and he had other going to bail for a potential OC.
Is that what you're asking?
Maybe perception's not reality a lot of times.
Gotcha. Yep. I mean, how much you paying me? Couple mil? Oh, in.
Yeah.
I just don't think being a high-level OC is much better than being a low-level head coach. And that's no disrespect to the job at Sac State or any job for that matter. There's only a handful of G5 jobs that I would really want. And I think most are really challenging. And if you can somehow find a way to get one of those attractive G5 jobs, by all means, Tulane, USF, Memphis, schools like that, yeah, in whatever it takes, I'll make it happen. And North Texas, there's a handful of those, but not many. If I can be an OC at a P4, in. That's, I think, a much more attractive spot for a lot of guys nowadays.
Yep, I don't think there's any doubt. But just interesting with all the noise around that one a year ago that it looks like it might be a little bit different now. Also, have you followed this Ohio football deal at all? What's going on?
I know the guy got put on leave. I just don't know anything else about it.
So according to WOUB Bobcat Showcase, it's a Ohio Bobcats podcast, is reporting yesterday that Brian Smith's attorney told them he still has not been provided with a reason as to why he's on leave.
What?
Now, I don't think a school's going to put a guy on leave for literally no reason, but
not usually.
I also feel like you need to at least let me know. As egregious as it may be or insignificant as I might think it is, I feel like you got to at least say, here's why. Like, okay, hey, you're good. Don't come to work tomorrow. You're on leave. We're going to figure some things out. All right, why? You just don't come back. Okay, but what happened? Well, we don't need you here right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is some sort of an attorney Jedi mind trick or something here that we're trying to, like, what kind of ruse he's trying to pull. Surely the sides have an idea what's going on, but the fact that nothing has been released publicly about this, and if you guys don't know this, Ohio announced an interim head coach about a week ago, and never announced that the previous head coach was gone.
Yeah.
Just put out a media release that so-and-so's our interim head coach. And now here we are with the previous or head coach on leave saying he still doesn't know why he's on leave. It's weird, man. It's a weird deal. I don't know what's going on, but seems very strange.
There's a lot of things that happen sometimes that I just have no idea about. So I have no clue. I saw the headline yesterday. I was like, what the heck? And that was pretty much the extent of it. I don't know much beyond it, to be honest with you.
No, it is a MAXX Ball Friday. And we're going to get back into some of the X's and O's here. We're obviously going to pick the rest of these games. We've picked a large majority of them so far. But I do need to share some bad news with the listeners, and maybe with you, Greg. I don't know if you saw this one yet. And I am I'm very disappointed to announce that we have to say goodbye to something that has been significant to college football for many years.
The bad box score?
As much as you would like for that to go away, no, it's not. Not in the middle of basketball season, we're not. Now, springtime, maybe we need to find a substitute, but no, not during basketball season and the end of football season. This won't be an easy one, folks.
Oh, no.
It will be hard to say goodbye to the Bahamas Bowl.
Oh, no.
It's not coming back. It's dead.
I don't know where we've been.
In the Bahamas?
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Well, the Xbox Bowl is in, though.
We do have a replacement. If you're looking for silver linings here, on December 18th, where else would it be other than Frisco, Texas? I mean, why when I think Xbox, I think Frisco. The Xbox Bowl will replace it December 18th in Frisco, Texas. And more good news to replace this miserable news. We already have a matchup.
Done.
Oh, boy.
Arkansas State and Missouri State will be trying to out-control one another
On the West Coast.
in Frisco, Texas.
As a former announce team of the Bahamas Bowl, this saddens me.
It should. Never got that opportunity. One that I think everyone at the company pushes for at some point in time, makes a case for at some point in time.
It's not. It's
at
not
least
what
wishes for. But
It's maybe not exactly what you think.
no, you gave us some of the details of the stadium and some of the other
it's,
things around it.
As someone that's been on UAB's broadcast, it's not a fun broadcast.
It is fun.
Okay,
but
maybe
I
for
think
TV.
you lose money going down there. It is not cheap. And when you're staying on grounds and your wife decides to order a quesadilla for lunch, you don't look at the price. It's a quesadilla. Go ahead and guess how much that quesadilla costs.
Oh, we've
gentlemen.
done this before. I'm trying to remember what you told us. Like
$18.
$38 or something.
$45 for a quesadilla.
Yeah, but what came with it, Greg?
Nothing.
That's
Chips.
not true. At least a little side of sour cream, at least.
Yes, I did think you have some accoutrements, but that was about it. So yeah, can't even imagine how expensive that bowl must have been. And it was a really cool experience to have called a game in an international country. It was awesome. But I will say this, one of the end zones was 9 yards deep. And you know how we feel about.
But did they go both ways?
No, they
No.
did go both ways.
Okay.
They did go both ways. So that is helpful. You know how we feel about fields that are not up to the standard of normal college football. Not a great feeling.
No, we don't necessarily approve of it, and we don't usually get on board with it, regardless of the links that a minor league baseball team's social media department will go to give us a hard time for it. Either way, we're going to stand our ground on that one. End zone should be 10 yards. I'm not backing off that, by the way.
I think that is encouraged.
I'm planting my flag right now. The end zone should be 10 yards deep.
This isn't baseball. You don't get to choose how long
Nope.
the boundary is.
You don't get to put flagpoles on your hill out in center field, Houston. Doesn't happen. So we need 10-yard end zones. So, yeah, I had to say goodbye to that one today. It's a sad day. No more Bahamas Bowl. But you know what? We get kids playing for Xboxes in Frisco, Texas.
They used to play for PlayStations back in the day.
Used to. Are they going to have, like, those giant recliners in the end zone, like in the back of the end zones with just Xboxes set up, and after they score, like, they can go get a play in on NCAA?
They probably shouldn't, because let's be honest, the kids will gravitate to that.
Just
in
do something.
the middle of the game.
Why not? Are we happy or sad that the celebration trinkets have faded in college football? I feel
What is
some
a
are,
celebration trinket?
you know, like the ball out belt, the turnover slot machine, the turnover plank, the turnover chain, the turnover throne, the turnover pimp cane, the turnover hat, the turnover buzzsaw, the turnover jigsaw, the turnover hacksaw, the turnover chainsaw.
Did it
The
die when
turnover
the
chain.
turnover plank, the wood plank with the smiley face, was that the last?
I hope so.
Was that the last edition?
There's some of them that are still out there. Like I think Georgia still does the turnover spike, shoulder pads, Legion of Doom deal.
Yeah.
Which is fine. If the kids get into it and get excited about it, that's great. But I do feel like we were getting a little too far down the road on some of those. Like when the NCAA had to step in and say, UNLV, you can't have a slot machine on your sideline.
Yeah, we're frowning upon, the old slot machine on the sideline. That's where we draw the line.
Which I will say I thought was maybe the most creative one we had.
It was up there.
So now that, just like the Bahamas Bowl, is dead.
Golly, football is just not fun anymore. It's so sad.
They're trying to take the fun out of it. That's
no
for sure.
fun. Nobody likes college football. We've peaked already, and we're on the way down. Clearly, based on last week's ratings, clearly college football, we've already hit the top, the mountaintop, and now it's all downhill from here.
Nobody likes having to deal with cracked floors or floors that are ruined, Greg. But if you are having to deal with that, we know exactly who you should call.
Well, that's Shannara Flooring, and I can promise you if you install that Core-Tech, you won't have cracked floors. That's because every single plank comes with that 20 mil wear layer. It's extremely durable. Waterproof, pet-proof, kid-proof, you name it. And right now, Fu is doing it again, and he's already stockpiled 50,000 square feet of premium Core-Tech flooring that is in stock right now at Shannara Flooring. And no one in town has that Core-Tech that Fu has. And with savings of 20 to 40%, it's a deal you can't touch. So remember Shannara Flooring. When you want Core-Tech, call who? Call Fu at Shannara Flooring, 205-518-6423, or go online to fuandyou.com.
All right, so when we come back, we go more MAXX ball. We're going to get into these games, make our predictions, hear from you as well. 800-239-9569. Tweet in at Mac and Cube. You can text into the show, 205-834-9450. All that and more next on Jocks. One other news item in college football before we get back into the nitty-gritty of Championship Saturday and breaking these games down. In one word, Greg, how would you describe Penn State football right now?
Disarray.
Seems fair. John?
Fuster clock. But switch some letters.
I might just go lost. Like literally just wandering. If you guys aren't aware of it, they don't have a head football coach. They were also the first team this year to fire their head coach and have had multiple individuals seemingly on deck only to fall apart. And now their athletic director, who was taken to task via social media by the CEO of Crumble recently, has been recorded meeting his football team. Have you heard this yet, Greg?
I have not.
Now, I want to preface this quickly with whoever put this out there, you should be kicked off the team. Sorry, you should. That's just where I am with it. It's a meeting of the team. This should stay in-house. This should never go public. Now, we're going to play it because we have access to it, so we appreciate that aspect of it, but you should still be gone, in my opinion, if it were ever to come out who it was, especially for distributing this publicly for other people to consume. But since now it would appear as though Penn State could be 10 times the mess that we thought it was because of this audio, here's their athletic director, Pat Kraft, meeting with his football team.
Like, Ohio State's Ohio State, but it's not like they're way light years better than us talent-wise. Just haven't been able to get over the hump. Michigan stinks. Joe. Cheated their ball off. That's real, by the way. They did. Oregon, the quarterback was shaking in overtime. But we have to win those games.
So, Greg, I'm not going to say it's taking shots at Ohio State, but Oregon, I would say pointed comments a little bit there.
What about Michigan?
I don't think they didn't fall in the firing line here. You have more from this, John?
Speaking of taking shots, there's another coach or a staff member in here that begins the clip talking about how I guess they have issues recruiting and all like that, and well, I'll just let them say it.
The biggest reason why people don't come here, and I asked the recruits, like, because I'm hosting recruits and stuff like that, why they don't want to come here, and that's the reason why.
So I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's the question we're asking them. We probably need to change the way we recruit, because Alabama ain't around.
No, Clemson, South Carolina.
Oregon? Have you all been to Oregon?
No.
Ain't going on. It's a bunch of weirdos.
I love that the one kid goes, no.
Have you ever been to Oregon?
Have you been to Oregon? No, haven't.
I'm in State College, Pennsylvania. How the hell do I get out of here?
Speaking of which, Greg, you've been there. We haven't been there. I've never been to a game there. I've never been to the town. But I imagine, from what I've heard of it, you probably shouldn't be taking shots at other smaller college towns. I mean, how many amusement parks and shopping malls do they have in Happy Valley? I mean, I don't take it as a booming metropolis. And yes, I deem metropolises by amusement parks and shopping malls.
Podunk towns don't have those.
Yeah. I've been to all these places. I mean, there's something cool about all of them, and there's something that I don't like about all of them. Like, to me, it's a matter of preference. Like, I'm sure there's a million people that don't like Tuscaloosa. I love Tuscaloosa. I'm sure there's a million people that don't like Auburn. A lot of people love Auburn, including Cole. Like, I think to start taking shots at towns and stuff is a bit short-sighted because beauty's in the eye of the beholder. There are some people that don't like Ames, Iowa, and yet a lot of people have really liked to play in Ames, Iowa for a long time, and it's a cool scene on college football Saturday. So I think that's a little dumb, but like you said, like, how does this get out, man? Like, what are we doing? Seriously, what are we doing? We're taping people now. Like we're taping people that are on your side, by the way.
I've heard of certain coaches where in teams they have a box when you walk into the meeting room and you drop your phone in it. Like there's other ones that have a table and they have like a mat with all the numbers, and you put your phone down on your number when you walk in. And I hate to say like, oh, they want to trust their team or whatever, but I mean, not even for the recording aspect of things, but also just paying attention. I think it's a good idea. Like, okay, we're going to put our phones down. And we're going to sit here and have a 45-minute meeting, and you're not going to be able to look at Instagram. Sorry. You're just going to have to wait. But then you also have instances like these that you want to try to avoid. But I'm with you. Going after any college town, specifically with a successful football team or athletic department, just feels like a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because there are different ways that different people can romanticize Starkville, Mississippi, or Evanston, Indiana, or wherever else you want to go. That's a smaller town. And some people don't even know about some of these towns. Like, I'm not going to make fun of Penn State. I'm not going to make fun of Eugene, Oregon. I haven't been. Number one, I haven't been to games there. I haven't even been to the towns. So, but I think there are other towns, like I think people outside the footprint will be like, who wants to go to Baton Rouge? Like, that's a city. That's not like a little college town. Gainesville, Florida is not a little college town. But I think the perception outside the footprint of it is they think it's just like Starkville and Oxford and Auburn. And it's not like Tuscaloosa. They're just not. So I'm not sure why, as an AD, that would be your choice. That would be your plan of attack there. It just feels like a bad idea altogether.
Well, he's also thinking he's speaking in private to people that he's on the team with. That's just it's a tough situation to be in. I guess I'm also the coach is sitting there saying what do we recruit? How do we recruit? Now he's telling them how you need to recruit. I don't know, man. I think Pat Kraft, I'm not saying he's exclusively to blame for this whole deal, but a lot of this falls on him now. You can say what you want. A lot of this is on him. And he decided to prematurely fire James Franklin because of some type of disagreement. And then he decided to pay him $9 million when he didn't need to. And then he decided to start going after these pipe dream coaches. And the reality is Jimmy Sexton played him like a fiddle and getting raises for everybody, which, by the way, happens. But he didn't have any realistic candidates. Did you really think Kalen DeBoer was going to take that job? No. And I think you need to also be very honest with the people that you were interviewing. And I think that there were some things that were said in interviews that were untrue. And that makes people really uneasy. And I think there's also a concern, too, about who's taking it, first and foremost. And in the event in which you do take it, who is going to be my boss? Because I'm not sure Pat Kraft's going to be there, which makes it even more complex and challenging. So it's kind of a disaster for sure, which is unfortunate because it's a great, great, proud program with proud people that support the program. And I just don't like where it's at right now at all.
Well, what is the most common issue with people who go on the attack of others and want to make fun of others and point the finger at others? 100%. Yeah. It's a defense mechanism. When you know something's wrong with you, it's easy to try and point out the shortcomings of others to make sure that yours are not noticed. And felt like this is kind of front and center on display when you hear this, regardless if it's just one position group or the entire team, or if it's for the general public. It doesn't matter. That's kind of where my brain's going to go when I hear you trying to do these kind of things. So Penn State does not feel like the mess is close to being cleaned up. We do have some other assistants that are announced or either on deck for some SEC schools. We'll discuss a few of those when we come back. Also get into our final picks for some of the games coming up this weekend on a MAXX Ball Friday. First, I'll tell you about Gusty Goulas and the Gusty Goulas Group. If you are looking to get into a new home here in Central Alabama, you need to contact the Gusty Goulas Group today. 205-542-1996. Go to GustyGoulasGroup.com. Brokered by eXp Realty. Button at the top right-hand portion of the page. Smash that button. Very little information, and this is what you're going to get. You're going to get what they think they are going to be able to bring in for your home right now. Why are they able to do these things? They serve more than 3,000 home buyers and sellers right here in the greater Birmingham area. And if you Google Gusty Gould's Group now, you're going to see over 855-star Google reviews. Think about how remarkable that is. Call 205-542-1996 or go to GustyGouldsGroup.com today. All right, when we come back, some assistant coaches in the Southeastern Conference, some news there, and then we will also get into our final picks for games coming up this weekend on a MAXX Ball Friday. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Championship Saturday is here. Before we get into it at 9:35 a.m. Friday, December the 5th, GMAC, tell our listeners about Bromberg's.
Well, Bromberg's is still such a great time. The 2-day sale's done, but it's such a great time to go in still and start to take advantage of some of the incredible inventory that they have leading up to the holiday season. Make it a Christmas to remember with a custom piece of jewelry from Bromberg's. Their master jeweler, Philip Flanagan, can handcraft something that's truly one of a kind. It's designed just for you or someone you love, whether it's reimagining an heirloom or creating a brand new design. A custom piece from Bromberg's is a gift that tells your story. Visit Bromberg's in Mountain Brook or the Summit and make this holiday season unforgettable.
All right, so let's roll back into some of the games coming up this weekend and get our final picks on a few of these. It's we went through pretty much our games today. UNLV Boise tonight. I'm actually going to go with Dan Mullen in this one. I know it's going to be 44, rainy, but with mobility at quarterback, I don't think UNLV has to put the ball in the air. I think they can find ways to get it done on the ground. Now, Boise has a solid ground game themselves with Dylan Riley, but at the end of the day, I know that blue turf is what it is, and people think that they're not able to be taken there, but I want to go UNLV tonight, 7 p.m. on Fox for the Mountain West Championship, GMAC.
You know, I'm going the other side. I'm going Boise. I don't feel good about it, though. Just watch the quarterback availability. I think if Maddox Matson goes, it's a heavy lean. But with he's up in the air, it's a stay away. So I lean Boise, but I don't feel great about it.
No, it'd be hard to have a ton of confidence here in that one. By the way, Boise, the only FBS team to win a conference championship game each of the previous 2 seasons. So a third straight would make it the longest streak since that game began. All right, also, coming up tomorrow morning, BYU, Texas Tech. Whatever the mantra that you believe in is of tough to beat a team twice, tough to lose to a team twice, whatever it is, I just don't think BYU is going to have legitimate answers for what Texas Tech is going to offer up front, and it was bad last time. I think Texas Tech wins this game. I don't feel great about them covering the 12.5, but BYU just doesn't have enough answers, I don't think, for the Texas Tech defense. Front 7 more than just the D line, by the way.
Yeah. I just don't. I mean, everyone's kind of leaning towards BYU here. I don't see it. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, what's the appeal towards backing BYU in this scenario? Like, are they going to run it better? Like, I know LJ Martin's a little healthier now than he was the last time they played, but I don't know.
Still got to run against that group, though.
It's still that group.
So I think we're both on Texas Tech here to be able to pull that one down and get that one. Not a huge surprise for most. Miami, Western Michigan, I'm just telling you, I take the over, 43.5. I know Daquan Finn's out, but it's a MAC title game inside. Take the over. Georgia, Alabama. When we get down to the nuts and bolts in this one and we begin to pick how this thing's going to go, Greg, ultimately, how do you see this one playing out?
I like Bama. I mean, I really do. I think Bama's defense is better than it was the last time. And it's not like Georgia was able to run roughshod. Like, Georgia was fine on defense. I think Bama matches up well defensively. Like, I hate that LT Overton's out, but I think they'll scheme him up, and I'm not super concerned about Georgia's offense after what I saw last week. I'm not. Like, I think Georgia is very, very good football team, but I think Bama's better than people realize. And I think Bama has an advantage from a coaching staff standpoint. I really do. Like, I think they got a number. They have Georgia's number a bit. Now, I think it's going to require them playing at a really high level, but I'm still taking them. Like, until proven otherwise, until I see Kalen DeBoer's team not show up and have an advantage from a staff standpoint against Georgia, against Oregon, against teams like that, I'm leaning Bama.
I'm going to go the other way on this one. I'm going to take Georgia. I agree with everything that you're saying. Number one, getting away from the technicalities of the game, more of the, I don't know what you would call this, like the lore of college football aspect of it. This whole deal with Kirby Smart and Alabama having his number is not going to continue forever. Like, it just isn't. He's too good of a coach. He has too good of players. That thing's not just going to keep going. At some point, it's going to turn. Even if it just turns a little bit, it's going to turn. And it's not like he's been blown out in a lot of these games either. I think the fact that they played there a week ago gives them a small advantage. The process of it all, will understand it. I don't really think a lot of these kids walk in and get big-eyed and don't know how to handle themselves in certain stadiums anymore anyway. But I do think it allows for a little bit of an advantage. I think with where Georgia wants to live offensively, playing on turf actually plays into their favor just a little bit because they're going to want to spit it out and use the quick game and the screen game. And I think quarterback run, not even by design, but the legs of the quarterbacks, I think probably decide this game. Who can avoid catastrophes and negative plays? Who can pick up extra yards when things break down? Turn them into positives like we talked about, say, with Arch Manning against A&M last week. And then who can get some bonus yards by design with what they're going to do with their QBs. I think that is really and truly what it ends up being. Probably turnovers as well. Ty Simpson hasn't had many. Gunnar Stockton hasn't had a ton, but we talked about Gunnar Stockton struggling to get zone last week, and we talked about Bama not being able to protect Ty Simpson. So those are the things that I look at here, Greg. I don't feel great about either side of it. Like I said with Stanford Steve, I'd stay away from it because I feel like the spread and the total is about where it needs to be. And there are not too many parts of this that I feel great about saying this team's going to be able to do that. This team will dictate this. I think they're just going to trade haymakers for about 4 quarters. And the mistakes will probably prove to be massive in this game. Because if you make a bunch of mistakes, you're going to lose. It might be 1 or 2 big mistakes that are going to cost you this game. But for some reason, I feel a little bit better about Georgia being able to win conservatively with how they play in this game. So I'm going to lean Bulldogs in this matchup against Alabama for the SEC championship.
I get it. I understand it. I mean, I think the whole narrative of, oh, Kirby can't figure it out is ridiculous. I just think Bama's built to beat them and have been for years. And Georgia is always tight when they play Bama. They are. They were tight in the game they won. And they were way better from a personnel standpoint, like way better in 2021 than Bama was. And no one wants to remember that. But roster-wise, like they were significantly better, and that game required a pick 6 for them to win the game.
Yep.
And I just, for them to win the game by a convincing margin. So I think it's always a good game. It's always tight, but I just trust Bama more. I think the mindset of playing relaxed, don't need to worry about it, then I think that's helpful.
No doubt. It's going to be a great game, I think, either way. I think it's going to be back and forth. I think there'll be a lot of excitement with it because I think both offenses have a chance to create a little bit, and there are areas that I could see both defenses being problematic at times for what these offenses want to go do. So that's the SEC championship game. We'll get to the Big Ten championship game on the other side, ACC championship game, the game that Greg's going to be on. We'll discuss that one when we come back. Because we need to get into our Super Sofa game of the week as well. Before we do it, though, I'll tell you about Game Day Men's Health. If you are feeling on edge, if you're lacking sleep, lacking energy, Game Day Men's Health wants to help you today. Here's how they're going to do it. You go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com right now, sign up for the free consultation. You get the free PSA test, free testosterone test. They give you your baseline health, then present all the different options that they have for you right there at Game Day Men's Health. You can feel better, and Game Day Men's Health can help you with it. Open and trustful now. Locker room environment, great people inside that place, not going to try to push you into things that you don't need. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com for more information, and go ahead and sign up for that free consultation. GameDayMen'sHealth.com, now open in Trussville, Auburn, and Tuscaloosa, as well here in Vestavia. All right, when we come back, Super Sofa Game of the Week, and we wrap up the final 2 conference championship games and give you our picks next right here on Jocks. Boy, GMAC alluded to it a little bit earlier. Ratings from last weekend, Georgia Tech, clean old-fashioned hate brought a clean old-fashioned audience. 8.7 million it averaged, peaked at 11.3. The Iron Bowl, 11.3 million, peaked at 13.1 million viewers. The Lone Star State Showdown averaged 13 million viewers, peaked at 14.3. Just a massive weekend for college football on the ESPN family of networks, Greg.
Enormous. Absolutely enormous. And so fun. I mean, like, crazy how when you look at the numbers and considering you're still up against some NFL and you have some challenges there, I mean, you look at the numbers, man, it's really impressive. College football is growing, and it's going to continue to grow, and it's going to get bigger, and it's going to get better. And when you have rivalries is one of the biggest things. One of the biggest things that moves the needle. And I think it will continue to be that way for sure moving forward.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubts. Some interesting news coming out of the Big 12. Listen, they've done a great job of being forward-thinking, trying to do new things, different things. Tom Pelissero is reporting that the NFL and the Big 12 are entering into a new strategic partnership working side by side on officiating development, global football initiatives, emerging technology, analytics, and flag football expansion with the goal of growing the game for generations to come. Listen, it's never bad for your brand to be linked to the NFL at all. So regardless of what the realities are here or what's really known, Greg, this is a smart move either way by the Big 12.
I just don't trust the NFL.
Okay.
I mean, that's my only thing. Like, the NFL is a partner with ESPN, and the NFL decided, you know what we're going to do? What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put games on Saturdays in December that will go head-to-head with your college football playoff. We're going to put games on Black Friday. A day that's not Thanksgiving's not enough. We're going to put a game on Black Friday too. The NFL, I think, the NFL takes what it wants, and I get worried from a college standpoint. I think, look, it's nice. It's a nice headline, but it just always makes me nervous. It just always makes me nervous with college dealing with the NFL, because I just don't feel like the NFL is there to protect the NFL, and that's about it.
I don't think there's any doubt, but still, how many younger kids are looking at it that way? And then they see the Big 12 linked with the NFL. I think, you look at this is still a pretty good thing. All right, let's get to this weekend's final matchups that we haven't discussed. Big Ten title game, Indiana, Ohio State, 7 o'clock on Fox. Just two great football teams. Ohio State's a 4-point favorite. I would take the points with Indiana. I'm struggling to tell you that I really believe Indiana wins this game outright. I wonder what the messaging is from the two coaching staffs here. Now, being Big Ten champions, big, massive, obviously means a lot. But are there other parts of this that are being discussed, Greg, to the importance of it? If that were what decided this game, I think I know where I would lean. And that would be Kurt Cignetti, without a doubt, because I think he can deliver a different message probably than Ryan Day can. I'm going to go Indiana here because of balance. And I think if anything falls apart for any of these two teams, I think Indiana has more places to fall on it. Now, do I think that means that they cover really well and they shut Julian Sayin down? No, I don't. But go back to what Bobby Carpenter said, number one in the nation in turnover margin. I think if there are turnovers that go one way or the other, they go to Indiana's advantage and they're able to squeak one out in Indianapolis Saturday night on Fox. That would be my pick for the Big Ten title game.
I'm still going Ohio State. I think it's going to be low scoring. I think both defenses will play well in this game. I think the big key is if Ohio State can block them. I think that's the big key. If Ohio State can block them and they can't deliver hits on Julian Sayin, I think it's going to be very tough for Indiana to cover him throughout this matchup. And if they can't hit him, then Sayin will carve you up. So that's where I struggle with it. I just don't know if they can get home. If they can get home, I love Indiana. I just don't know if they can get home. Yeah. And that's why I'm going to go with Ohio State.
All right, so there's the Big Ten title game, ACC championship game, Duke of Virginia. I like the Duke offensive line. I like their run game, their run scheme. I don't know if it's going to be enough. I think Virginia just finds ways to put more points on the board, specifically against this defense. I'm taking Virginia. I know you can't pick it, Greg, but tell our listeners what they should be watching for when they tune into you guys at 7 o'clock on ABC Saturday night.
Well, I think the biggest thing is with Virginia, I think what people don't realize is how good their run game is, how good their back is. Their running back's elite. I mean, big time. And one thing that I've noticed with Duke is just super aggressive and almost at times unsound. Will they calm it down a bit? Will they relax the front, make it a little more static so they're not running themselves out of positions? I mean, they're giving up chunk plays on 3rd and 8 just by handing it off against them. And I think that's big. The other thing for Duke, in the last 2 games since losing to Virginia, Duke was basically like 65-35 pass to run in the first 10 games. Well, in the last 2, it's been 50-50. And they're giving a little bit more to the running backs, and they're taking a little bit less off Darian Mensah's shoulders, which I think can be helpful for them in a matchup like this. So I think the big key is, 1, does Duke give up big plays to Virginia on the ground? 2, can Virginia limit the explosiveness and the big play potential of Duke's offense? And 3, which team makes a critical mistake? And that mistake can be a lot of different things. It can be a turnover. It could be a misfit in the run game. And because I think these teams match up pretty well, but I think Virginia is the better football team. Like, I think they're the better football team, but Duke can create a mistake with how they play. And that's what it might come down to.
There you go. So now, if you only had one to watch this weekend, which one would it be? It's our Super Sofa game of the weekend. I hate to do this to our guy because he'll be on against it. I don't know how it's not number 1 versus number 2, 7 o'clock on Fox, Big Ten championship game, Ohio State, Indiana. I have so many questions that I need answered in this game. I have so many things that I'm interested to see how they play out, how they go, what they look like, how good they really are, if they're not that good. I'm going Ohio State, Indiana for my Super Sofa game of the week. Brought to you by TD's Fine Furniture.
You'll find no pushback from me on that. I think it's perfectly appropriate. And frankly, in my booth, I will have that game on. I can promise you that. I'm going with North Texas against Tulane. I'm going to go American Championship tonight. It's 8 o'clock Eastern time on ABC. It's the first playoff game of the year. Win and you're in, lose and you're out. Plus, you get to see 2 future Power 4 coaches. Eric Morris on North Texas' side, John Summerall, future Florida head coach on the Tulane side. So I'm going American Conference champ. That's tonight, 8 o'clock, ABC.
For me, I'm going to get things going on Saturday. Your Big 12 championship on ABC. BYU taking on Texas Tech, because I think this one, unlike most of the other ones, whoever wins this game is definitely in it. But I think if BYU loses, I think they're out. I think this will be one of the first times where you see a team that makes a conference championship game and they're dinged for losing. I think BYU wins the game, though, but I still think either way it's going to be an extremely tight and fun game. That's why BYU Texas Tech is my TD's Fine Furniture Super Sofa game of the weekend. By the way, it's time for TD's year-end clearance sale. Thousands of items for the entire home are marked down. They want to clear it all out before the end of the year. Plus, you'll pay no interest until 2027. The year-end clearance sale going on right now at TD's Fine Furniture in Summerton.
All right, appreciate Bobby Carpenter, Stanford Steve hopping in today. If you missed the podcast, go to jocksfm.com, Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you get yours. Also, it's on the app. You can go check it out there. Go watch the show back on YouTube. Search Jocks945. We're back Monday, 7 to 10 a.m. to recap all of this and discuss the college football playoff field. McElroy, you'll be in Bristol for that on Sunday, correct?
Yes.
So you can watch Greg announce all the teams in all the spots, and we'll discuss it here. 3-Man Front will be with you next.